For me, it's more about the purity of the person's intentions to attempt to connect with someone else. Hi guys, this podcast explores the importance of our connection, well-being and mental health. To reason with someone is to motivate them to do or accept topics, ideas and issues through discussion and having conversations. This podcast is for those that want to raise their awareness, change their perspective or just have a good time. My vision is to help people find reason to live, to grow and to understand. I do that through this podcast as well as counselling individuals that want to help themselves.
No, he needs to know.
I just think he's gonna talk and it's gonna make a lot of sense.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
One man, one podcast. 3, 2, 1. Reason with Me podcast, episode 1.
It's time.
So welcome, episode 1. This is Reason with Me. My name's Jackson Godding. I am a Sydney-based psychotherapist and I founded Find Reason Therapy. And I decided I was going to start a podcast and just talk about real topics that have to do with connection, mental health, and well-being. My plan is to just have raw, authentic conversations over this podcast. I'm also filming it, so if you would prefer to watch me blabber on as well, you can watch along on the video. So really, I'm just going to be touching on lots of different topics and areas, and I guess I want to firstly start by thanking anyone that's kind of gotten onto the podcast and giving this a little bit of a chance. It's something new. It's something I'm trying to move a little bit more into. I'm really keen on just reaching as many people as I can and talking some shit about different topics that I'm passionate about, that I guess really care about, but then things that I'm super interested in as well. And I want to challenge others to, I guess, have a different perspective on stuff and figure out if they believe this a certain way and might change their view of something, down the track. So we're just going to burn through different topics and ideas as we go, but I want to kick it all off by talking about connection. So it's going to be a bit fun. It's going to be pretty laid back. For those of you that know me, I'm pretty relaxed. Don't take too much seriously. So I'm going to make this as fun as possible and get people to have a bit of a smile, but also, challenge some minds and get people to think about things. I just want to name what I'm wearing at the moment, which might sound a bit strange, but I'm wearing a brand that's called Livin'. Now, Livin' is a non-for-profit organization that talks about suicide prevention, and they're really passionate about the point of that it's not weak to speak. Now, these guys have been around for a couple of years, and they have a clothing label to be able to put all money back into this concept where we're sort of raising the awareness with our mental health and trying to reduce the suicide rate in Australia, which is just crazy high. So the shirt that I'm wearing, for those that are listening, I can explain it. And for others that are watching the video, can probably see. It's got a face, and half of that face is peeled away. One half is smiling and the other half is frowning. And I guess the concept behind that is some days we're good and some days we're bad. And it sort of ties in with what I want to start with in terms of topics for today. And that's talking about the importance of connection. And they speak really passionately about the fact that you matter. And I think that's really awesome. I think that that concept of the fact that you do matter is just so great. And how we find that for so many of us is by realizing our worth and realizing what it is that we get out of life and the value that we find in that. And a lot of that's through connection, whether we see it ourselves or whether our mates are saying it to us. It's about finding our own way in all this crazy stuff. So let's talk about it. I want to talk about connection today, and there's something about seeing a person walking down the street with a bouquet of flowers. Whether that's just been received or it's at the start of the journey to its delivery. And that might be for a somber occasion, and it might also be for a celebration of something special. For me, it's more about the purity of the person's intentions to attempt to connect with someone else. Sure, I guess we don't need to do that through physical gifts or material things. But I think the sight of it, nonetheless, just always sparks joy for me. I don't know, maybe I'm stupid. Hopefully that resonates with you. But for me, it's this moment shared and captured. Maybe it's the social media post of engagement, like an upcoming wedding, balloons outside a neighborhood home for a party, that sight of a stolen kiss by the sunset. Some people, though, they see this act of kindness or love and become envious and jealous, saddened by the reality that this hasn't occurred for them. And for me, that blocks out the part of the mind that holds this shared connection with that moment. A sense of empathy, a passing smile when you see it. For whatever reason, we are left feeling pain instead of love for glimpsing at these moments. I guess it's sort of deny ourselves of connection, and it dampens the possibility for it to be experienced in full when it next comes our way. Now, life doesn't go to plan. It never does. It comes with the unexpected. Even in the days that played out different in our minds, they become disjointed and backwards to what we thought was going to happen. If we start to shift to expect the unexpected, view life as perfectly imperfect, we can harness the presence of each moment. Well, we can try. So let's break it the hell down and pull this all apart. So let's look at me. So I find myself at the airport, a place of departure pics and expensive coffee, a time where I never say no, ever, to McDonald's breakfast. If you stop, though, and look past all that mundane shit and the unusual stale taste of dry air conditioning, along with really, really bright lights, look past all that stuff, there becomes an incredible world of connection, love, togetherness. The airport brings people together. Families, friends, soldiers, loved ones, they're all arriving from all over the world. Some are lucky enough to be greeted with this powerful embrace. Now, watching someone lock eyes with the person to which they have been apart with, then the smiles, then the tears, and then this overdue hug. It's this moment of the purest kind of connection. Now, I sit back and watch this all day. I could be there all day. I just get lost in the experience that love and care can bring to someone's face. Keeping in mind, I have no clue who these humans are. I'm still just, able to feel this overwhelming power of connection that they're sharing with each other. If you haven't tried it, fucking do it. Go and buy yourself a ticket to somewhere, and what you'll find is sometimes what you see is better than the actual place you're going to go. For me, this is just this beautiful reminder of the importance and power of connection. Even an outsider like myself, potential weirdo that probably shouldn't be people watching, can watch and embrace and share a moment and become really touched and emotional just by witnessing it, right? I think everyone has the potential to turn a day around, to allow a smile or a laugh or a tear or a touch that may be just what we needed. I'm so humbled to witness such love and connection, and it reminds me as to why I guess I'm a therapist and who I am overall, that through connection we can heal by reaching out to others. And I guess it instills hope that today might get better. Hope that We become more available in ourselves when we are vulnerable. Hope that we can give and receive support, and that just be enough. So it's all about just changing your perspective. There's this awesome quote: how lucky am I to have someone that makes saying goodbye so hard. Now that quote was Winnie the Pooh. So share something about yourself with someone else. Offer an ear to a person's heartache. Give out a hug. Drop the L-bomb. Connect. Connection is key. It's key to recovery, to whatever recovery means to you. And if you know someone that needs help or support, and tell them to reach out to a professional, or get them to reach out to that friend, or maybe online services that they're out there. There's so many. It's so important to stay connected in these times, especially in the times that we've been having. It's been crazy. So we all need to come together and look at that sort of thing. And I guess this topic is about questioning what you think connection is and how your connection is at the moment. Are you isolated? Are you reaching out enough to your friends, to your family, to your professional help? Because when we're not, we're left with all the opposite, disconnection. We start doing our coping mechanisms of dealing with shit, and that gets messy really quickly. So, that's what I want you guys to reason with. Challenge yourself, change your perspective. Maybe it's the same perspective as the one that I have, and that's awesome. And maybe you found something in this that's been helpful or just resonates with you. And I'd love to hear from you about that. Now, what's going on for me at the moment is I've got some online counseling, and that's going to offer people the ability to be able to do things from their home, in the comfort of their own home, being able to connect in ways that aren't usual face-to-face. The COVID-19 thing that's been going around in the world means that we can't do our normal routines and our normal structure. So online counseling, I'm still doing face-to-face as well, and that's gonna remain always the way that it is. And I got some other groups and stuff on the background, and just hit me up. www.findreasontherapy.com.au is probably the best starting point. There's some resources and stuff on there. You can email me with any questions. I definitely pick up the phone too, so give me a call. It's awesome to talk with everybody, and I hope you guys listen to the end or are keen for the next few podcasts. It's going to be fun. Do you want to find out more about how therapy can help you kick some goals? Go check out findreasontherapy.com.au or the Find Reason Therapy Instagram page.